The formation of the American colonization. A confederacy is an alliance of people or groups formed for an illicit purpose. The 1492 Spanish Laws of Burgos. The Spanish Laws of Burgos were the first legal code for Spanish actions in the Americas, and are considered a precursor to international law and human rights. Purpose: the Spanish Laws of Burgos were created to govern the behavior of Spaniards, who were the first group of colonists in the Americas. The legal codes was specifically for the colonial Spaniards, especially in their inhumane and male bad treatment in relation to the West Indians, now called Black, Negro, and by the jurist attorneys, indigenous people. The laws were drafted by the Junta of Burgos, a group of jurists, theologians, and royal officers, in response to questions about the crown's sovereignty in the New World. The 1620 Conquest. The Spanish colonist has evolved by way of their confederacy with the British invaders to resist the laws of Burgos, which are the legal codes that restrict said colonists in their interaction and relations with the West Indians. They organize themselves to create what is known as the Continental Congress and initiate the independence of themselves from their crown to create their own commercial business enterprise called the United States of America, after which they created the United States Incorporated as the central representative agency of the commercial business enterprise called the United States of America. The 1774 Continental Congress. The Continental Congress was the governing body by which the American colonial governments coordinated their resistance to British rule during the first 2 years of the American Revolution. The Congress balanced the interests of the different colonies and also established itself as the official colonial liaison to Great Britain. As the war progressed, the Congress became the effective national government of the country and, as such, conducted diplomacy on behalf of the new United States. The 1776 Lee Resolution. On June 7, 1776, Richard Henry Lee of Virginia introduced this resolution in the Second Continental Congress proposing independence for the American colonies. In the early 1770s, more and more colonists became convinced that the British Parliament intended to take away their freedom. After fighting broke out in Massachusetts in the spring of 1775, the king declared the colonists in a state of open and avowed rebellion. For the first time, many colonists began to seriously consider cutting ties with Britain. The colonists elected delegates to attend a Continental Congress that eventually became the governing body of the Union during the Revolution. Its second meeting convened in Philadelphia in 1775. The delegates to Congress adopted strict rules of secrecy to protect the cause of American liberty and their own lives. In less than a year, most of the delegates abandoned hope of reconciliation with Britain. On June 7, 1776, Richard Henry Lee introduced a resolution that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, acting under the instruction of the Virginia Convention. The Lee Resolution contained three parts: a Declaration of Independence, a call to form foreign alliances, and a plan for confederation. On June 11, 1776, the Congress appointed three concurrent committees in response to the Lee Resolution: one to draft a Declaration of Independence, a second to draw up a plan for forming foreign alliances, and a third to prepare and digest the form of a confederation. Because many members of the Congress believed the actions Lee proposed to be premature or wanted instructions from their colonies before voting, approval was deferred until July 2nd. On that date, Congress adopted the first part, the Declaration. The words of the Lee Resolution are echoed in the Declaration of Independence. The document seen here shows the vote on the Lee Resolution. The affirmative votes of 12 colonies are listed at the right. New York cast no vote until the newly elected New York Convention upheld the Declaration of Independence on July 9, 1776. The plan for making treaties was not approved until September of 1776. The plan of confederation was delayed until November of 1777. The 1777 Articles of Confederation. The Articles of Confederation were adopted by the Continental Congress on November 15, 1777. This document served as the United States' first constitution. It was enforced from March 1, 1781, until 1789, when the present-day Constitution went into effect. After the Lee Resolution proposed independence for the American colonies, the Second Continental Congress appointed three committees on June 11, 1776. One of the committees was tasked with determining what form the Confederation of the colonies should take. This committee was composed of one representative from each colony. John Dickinson, a delegate from Delaware, was the principal writer. The Dickinson draft of the Articles of Confederation named the Confederation the United States of America. After considerable debate and revision, the Second Continental Congress adopted the Articles of Confederation on November 15, 1777. The document seen here is the engrossed and corrected version that was adopted on November 15. It consists of 6 sheets of parchment stitched together. The last sheet bears the signatures of delegates from all 13 states. This first Constitution of the United States established a League of Friendship for the 13 sovereign and independent states. Each state retained every power which is not by this Confederation expressly delegated to the United States. The Articles of Confederation also outlined a Congress with representation not based on population. Each state would have one vote in Congress. Ratification by all 13 states was necessary to set the Confederation into motion. Because of disputes over representation, voting, and the western lands claimed by some states, ratification was delayed. When Maryland ratified it on March 1, 1781, the Congress of the Confederation came into being. Just a few years after the Revolutionary War, however, James Madison and George Washington were among those who feared their young country was on the brink of collapse. With the states retaining considerable power, the central government had insufficient power to regulate commerce. It could not tax and was generally impotent in setting commercial policy, nor could it effectively support the war effort. Congress was attempting to function with a depleted treasury, and paper money was flooding the country, creating extraordinary inflation. The states were on the brink of economic disaster, and the central government had little power to settle quarrels between states. Disputes over territory, war pensions, taxation, and trade threatened to tear the country apart. In May of 1787, the Constitutional Convention assembled in Philadelphia to revise the Articles of Confederation. They shuttered the windows of the State House, Independence Hall, and swore secrecy so they could speak freely. By mid-June, the delegates had decided to completely redesign the government. After 3 hot, summer months of highly charged debate, the new Constitution was signed. which remains in effect today.
Give thanks. Give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe and its protective functions and forces in nature. Guide our thoughts and our path in all ways that are lawful, correct, and positive. We do give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Now, we'll step forward as usual to share our information from our perspective. A lot of people do the same, them share information according to them. And again, I as West Indian, I represent such, so I speak on behalf of such West Indian. This is why we emphasize a West Indian paradigm. Yeah, we create our own paradigm. We create our own lane, and we try to maintain that. We stay in our lane. So information what we share pertaining to just that. West Indian paradigm, West Indian thought process, West Indian frame of mind. And we share information accordingly. We're not out here try look, none of where everybody else probably are chase out there. All we are saying is this. We have a right to choose to be free. And freedom is an individual thing. This is why when you read the legal documents out there, it talk about your individual freedom. This is where the foreign construct known as a government, all of them, in all of their capacities, are working collectively to remove the individual's rights and freedoms which are absolute to the individual man and woman, and by extension, their offspring. Where people talk about religion, religiosity, and mix it with theology. You know what I mean? And say, boy, hey, they're synonymous. Hence, people say, boy, them just spiritual. But even there, when you turn there, you're going to have, like everything else, two sides to it, the good and the bad. And this is why we say the advocacy of freedom. You know what I mean? And truth should be the compass, you know, to navigate ourselves to that area where we can find it and maintain it. Truth. Most people now, because of the state of condition, them look to the public servants out there as if they are the authority. And when the public servant promulgate their legal standard, then the people acknowledge and accept it as law. And the moment you do that, then no outside entity can dispute that. This is why we say, we don't mind a question everything. We ask who, what, why, where, when, and how. That's what we call a trivium method of learning. So we apply ourselves that way for ascertain the root or the foundation or whatever it is. And we start by using the words. That's where we start. We have to know the words where we are used so we can use them impeccably. Specifically when you deal with the corporate entities out there. Whenever you correspond with these people, you deal with fictional entities, usually attorneys. Average employer now can communicate on this level. And this is why it is important in your correspondence with these people to Make sure you have foundational knowledge to direct them, because they're not going to know. Them in a fictional capacity. They can only operate on that level from that perspective. So if you, as a living man, go in a fictional area, as a living man, you cannot be heard, you cannot be seen, and you won't be recognized. The only way is when you put certain information on paper. This is why talking is one thing, but when you act upon what you say by your subscription, yeah man, it's a whole different thing. Again, you deal with fictional entity, and fictional entity can only interact and interface with like entities. This is why the creation of a legal fiction was introduced to the earth. Yet to remove the substantive man and replace him with the fictional male. This is why somewhere in my catalog you'll find we will share a video say male versus man or man versus male. There is a distinction, but most people are totally unaware. So when a day I try toot na on or I try gain the popularity, but that's a present information naturally. Any claim we take of the labels where we, ascribe to ourselves, like we say we are Nestorian king, meaning we are servant of our people. We are in service for our people. When we say Nestorian king, when we say Neogenian, that means that we are above the common thought process of what the colonized people will accept as truth. We're above that. This is why we know that man can't give you nothing in terms of law, not the artificial construct. And we share the information by way of the tape we just played. However, I still know I'm not going to go back over that information. It's a different thing when the computer narrate opposed to you, break it down accordingly. I must say complete gratitude to the ones that will choose to subscribe to this kind of information. And even more so to the ones them where I bring a strength to I. You know what I mean? And when I say that, I can be right here now from in the office and I present this opposed to I run to some free Wi-Fi location where people can, take pop shot at with. So I say salute to the people where care enough, where express that kind of concern for make sure, so watch out. Our king this, and we are choose this money as our king, so we are make sure the basic things are in place. So for the ones that will know themselves, warrior out there on the Bahamas island, a complete respect with honor and power. From a Nantucket Island warriors them out there, yeah man, warriors and warrioresses, a complete respect with power. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. To the others out there, where when them choose, yeah, we say complete gratitude. We now leave out round Texas, this. We now leave out Bronx and New Jersey. Bloodline, twin brother, bloodline, complete. You know what I mean? Again, with us there share some information where they're way above the common people's head. Way up there, but we have to bring it from, carry it to a level where they can look at it and at least I think, you understand, then they can ask questions. But a lot of people have this issue where, because it's a man like me, they don't necessarily want nothing to do with me, because me are not elite, and me is not a cross-dressing sissy, and me is not a man where you can probably buy. So ones might have issue with a man like me. So what me can do is just present information, and for the ones then where subscribe to what we are dealing with, and then we're obligated to we offer our assistance or service from the office to these specific people. It's not a general thing where everybody does. No. What is generalized is the information we share straight across the earth, where the ones them would up on the level for use or take what them want and move on. That's fine. We don't have no issue with that. What me now go really participate in is absolutely nothing. When me not start, me now go try get involved for patch it up or try to finish it, and yeah, that cannot work. Me not comprehend that level. This is why a long time ago and we talk some things, but people will ignore it. Because again, we not come from that side of the fence. Yeah, Kingston 13 at the time, Greenwich Farm. You understand? So we can't be considered ghetto youth, so we're not supposed to know nothing. And we're not supposed to know these things, especially on this level. It's unheard of. So not even our own people take us serious. Outside of the very few where we are manifest, it's not just talk. So we have people where we're more than competent, so them can do for them thing, and we celebrate it, and we really we encourage it. But I have to say this and say it publicly. When our officer work with you, just from that perspective, we now go work with you on other kind of information when I make no sense. Because the other kind of information when I make no sense, never do nothing for you before. Or we are step in an autonomous way. We have a machete, a chop out our way. But in order for me to use the machete, you understand? Me have to get the machete. And to get the machete would represent the esoteric information and knowledge where you have, where you attain, and where you choose to retain. That is the machete. So when you start wheel that information, that's why we are wheel the machete, and create your own lane, your own pathway, your own paradigm. Listen again, without the information, again, esoteric, not exoteric. The exoteric are usually deceptive. You understand? So when you have a specific kind of information where you have qualified, where you have verified, where now you have it as your truth, the moment you start move that way, then absolutely nothing can stop you. Really. We can only support you. But when you go assume that, you have a machete, when the information we're supposed to keep should be that machete, and you lack that information, then what kind of machete you have in your hand? Mine, it is a board sword, we can't really affect nothing. So we have to be cognizant, and we can't make our ego become our obstacle. I've been saying this for years, where a lot of people, because of them ego, it become an obstacle. Probably even me have that issue, because there's a lot of people where we really not think would I make an effort to try interact with. And there's others where I just know say I not have the finances to access these people location. It's like Ian. Me always will lick some fire upon the brethren Ian. But a lot of things I learn early from Ian. And what I learn is more concept, not to regurgitate, but to say, where I get that information? And all I have to do is go look at what is written, and then try to deduce it from myself, not from his perspective or their perspective, but from my own perspective. And when I start do that, it opens me up to a lot of things, take a whole lot of time. And when I reach a point where I realize my direction, I deal with freedom and autonomy and, the Most High divine creator and nature and everything we associate with that, while others more have business interests. And the moment you're gone with a business interest, you're gone over that other side, whether you know it or not. This is why the Most High say you can't serve two masters. Is either you're going to serve the Most High Creator or you're going to serve the adversary. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You're going to serve money. And money is a god. Well, them say feminine, so it's a goddess. Juno, Monita, they add them to the research. So most people will get into them feelings because, you know, I am not a Yusuf L. I am not a Ian. I am none of those things. So if me say something, my man now gonna take me serious. You understand? When I am the one who literally go in a court, not for no nonsense, it's for the right to be free. And I am here speaking to you right now in this public arena. You understand? And I say, I'm in the office. You know what I mean? So that means I'm in a lock up in a prison nowhere. You understand? And me I tell you, say, me not have my automobile. The same Babylonian demonic people, them have it in them possession. You understand? And people just say, sure, them just a talk nonsense. And we say, watch, you know, we care zero, you know. We just do our part. When we talk, we can verify all of what we are saying. And self-evident proof supersede all hearsay. First-hand knowledge remove all hearsay out of court. My people still have missed that. And because of them ego, because of some people ego, you understand? It won't be them obstacle. Now, I will say this to the ones then, especially the ones when we are choose to move autonomous. When they are them are structure them information or whatever it is, it's just like building a house. You have to have a solid foundation. And the solid foundation begins with your recordation. Your recordation is where you place on the record, and when it go unrebutted, then it's powerful. Lord, that now. And when you do anything, you build on that where you direct them to that public record area. The public record is separate and distinct from the court record. One should be de jure, one is de facto. Learn the difference. The de facto area deal with only, that's a fictional entities, fictional things, because it's de facto. The de jure deal with what is substantive, living, life. Learn the difference. This is how you create your separation of entity. This is why I said, the moment you say you're West Indian and you subscribe to where I specifically I deal with, then I have chief counsel take full autonomy over any kind of commercial process, any kind of legal process, anything to do with, you know, foreign court system interaction. Now, as such, when you reject that offer, then we stand down and the ones that we choose to explore, go ahead and experience what it is. But remember, it don't have nothing to do with this office. Irrespective you call our name or not, you have to verify say authorization I come from this office. And me use my platform here as public notice. And the court people usually go into the platform to verify. Say, boy, yeah, that man talk about it, that means say, yes, it's so. When me not talk about it, me can't verify it. If me not know about it, me can't verify it. If me not get authorization to discuss it, me can't discuss it. This is why when me and Joel Jag were out there, we not have nothing to hide. You can run into my house, run into Joel Jaguar house, and you have absolutely no authority to do so. So if you go find Joe Biden and his family tie up in my place when I come in unauthorized, I can't do nothing about that. Absolutely nothing about that, because in the first place, where you do a trespass against me. You understand? We have to get them part that clear before you move on to any kind of charges where you might presume or assume. So you stop them at the gate, you challenge the jurisdiction. Where is your authority? So you say, for my West Indian people, me I tell you, say, we not supposed to have absolutely no confrontation with no public servants out there, period. Why? Because we are them boss. As West Indians, specifically a function from this office or associating with this office. That's how it is. And we demonstrate the law as such. We can't speak for people where I mix this with that and I do other things. We're really, and listen, I'm being open, I'm being honest. Everybody want to lead, everybody want to be a big chief, in fact, Marie, so with I ones basically, I said, what if you're not around? You know what I mean? And that was just so dismissive to me. It cut through me like a piece of knife, and I was like, wow, if we are offer services to aid, and you're going to reject the service, that's one thing. But when I dismiss the energy and I say, boy, what if you're not here? What if I'm not here? Then, wait until that happens. Because most of what you do, talk the truth. Talk the truth. Where it come from? This is the issue with our people. We make our ego become our obstacle. Literally. And I should be concerned. I cannot. This is what I do. I express them kind of reasoning here for bring clarity. So you see, when the federal agents them, I look upon people what say them I deal with what they deal with, them I can deduce and this thing say there is a difference. Because you have certain things where we just not participate in it, we just not get involved in it. And when we do get involved in it, we are walking out publicly asking questions. You understand? So we can't allow our ego to be an obstacle because we're in our feelings. When we do that, it's to our detriment. And I hope me not become victim of that. And as I said, this is one of the things why I'm not run behind the gurus, them are, I not even try to listen to them information. Really. For them, direction is a total different thing. Their perspective is from a different place. All you have to do is look on the information what me share personally out there. And you can see, boy, we are come from a whole different location. We not try get no financial security from the demonic entity out there. We're not. We not ask for absolutely no government subsidy. Not even a grant. Nothing. But we are to present some information for sure, boy, the Most High Creator has never left this earth. And the laws of such have never removed from this earth. Where Babylon though is changed the laws into legality. That's and it's clear. Me hear once talk about this and that, and me I said, then with the foundation there. Remember, more than 3-4 years ago, we share information about the laws of Burgos, the Spanish laws of Burgos. This is the start of their colonization. Hence, we have the formation of the American colonization. I'm going to go ahead and touch up my notes on, yeah. First and foremost, I say a confederacy. What is a confederacy, my people? You can find various different definitions, but I say a confederacy is an alliance of people or groups formed for an illicit purpose. Now, which sodomite want to rebut this definition? Which one? Thank you. Now, what's the 1492 Spanish laws of Burgos? Most people, I said, them don't know what happened between the 1500 and the. That's because you're a colonized slave, joker. You just discover that something was missing when you run behind common law. You run behind British common law. These people don't know what law is. How can you make some other cross-dressing guys that tell you about law? When you have a book named the Bible, where there's an imaginary God, there's a mystical God, there's a God where none of us have ever laid eyes on. Don't mess around cross-dressing fellow over there. Don't mess around. You talk like you have God in your closet. So you can just go open it and look at him when you want. This is why we say we heal the Most High in spirit. That's why we say give thanks and praise to the mystic laws of the universe. Absolute power out there. Not content with nobody. That's why we open our own platform and stay in our lane. Yeah, man. Now, for the mainland American people, we're probably still delusional out there. Listen carefully. The Spanish laws of Burgos were the first legal codes. Again, I'll place emphasis here. The first legal code, not law. Yeah, man. I may express don't know what legal standards are. These are the rules and regulations being enforced as law. But the moment you burn it, it can't apply. It's when you acknowledge and accept it, then it applies. So clarity only for the West Indians, because I can only share information with the West Indian people. So again, the Spanish laws of Burgos were created. Well, let me start from the top, because I don't want to mess around here. The Spanish laws of Burgos were the first legal code for Spanish actions in America. The Spanish did their own first and are considered a precursor to what I'm called international law and human rights. Because human rights have come long before you hear them talk about it officially in 1948. You hear what it said? The very Spanish laws of Burgos, the first legal code, considered a precursor for international law and human rights. Excuse me. Now, the purpose for the Spanish laws of Burgos in 1492, pay attention to the timeline. The Spanish laws of Burgos were created to govern the behavior of Spaniards, who were the first group of colonists in the Americas. So you hear the purpose. It have nothing to do with the West Indian, the people that are called nigger and black and African American. Absolutely nothing to do with us as a people. The purpose of the Spanish laws of Burgos were created to govern the behavior of the Spaniards, who were the first group of colonists in the America. The legal code was specifically for the colonial Spaniards, especially in their inhumane and mal or bad treatment and relation to the West Indians, now called black, negro, and by the jurists or attorneys, indigenous people. The laws were drafted by the Junta or Junta of Burgos. These are a group of jurists, theologians, and royal officers in response to question about the crown's sovereignty in the New World. Forgive me. Now, them just contemplate on that in a 1492. Because we have a whole heap of people with them brighter than we on paper. Yeah, man, on paper, them can show you all kind of degree. But tell them to come sit down and reason with we like this. And make we ask them basic question and tell them to verify and validate it. They say them have to hold down them head and go on side. Because them can't talk to people who think critically. Them have to talk to people where they have programmed. And typical example, running on some of them platform here, where you have the low IQ and the no IQ people and you're gonna find them have over 1 million subscribers. And when you go into them catalog with over 10 billion, you just say content. You're lucky if you find 1, 2, or 3 where have any kind of influence that can make them become free. Become free. None. And we have to ask, why is that? Or we now have a lot more people that talk this way, from this kind of perspective, where we say, boy, we don't have no interest in nothing foreign to us. One of our problem is that most of the people and we are share information out there from that time till now. I come from biracial relationship where them look like I. But the information where them share are for really keep I going in circle and in other words, sophisticatedly suppress I. Make sure me not think outside of the box. God them I try to tell you how to think, when to think, what to think. When them have a handler, I direct their actions. So them keep on in the state of condition, one of them. How can we verify this? Look out there and say how much people speak this way. How much people express themselves as being free. Just look. 99% are always out there tell us boy that is here to make money, not to provide a service. Not here to challenge the oppressive regime, the oppressive colonial system that has imposed itself upon us. Not to challenge that. Most of these ones would rather wage war against us as a people. Yeah, man. Now when them look at themselves, them look like us. But when them speak, you're gonna see how far removed they are from us. So we not play the look alike. We say make we test the spirit. And when you test the spirit, you should get truth from that spirit. It's just that most people, ignore the truth. It's like when you have ones where you do not know. How you are gonna know them is when you test them. And when you test them and see them walk through whatever it is, then you can have faith and trust in them because they have been tested. It's like Joel Jaguar see. Because I know Joel Jaguar see in a certain situation when it have to deal with the system out there. Then me not have to ask. I can trust that Jaguar see a step lawfully out there and I move in such a way where him now try create no conflict or no controversy out there. And I can trust that with Joel Jaguar. And if there's any hidden thing that we don't know about, then we address it as it come along. We can't say the same for absolutely everyone. This is why we say, many shall be called and chosen will be few. If you say you have a situation and you have interest in us or try aid in a whatever situation, then allow us to do that. Now, if you choose to do what you want to do, then we are going to allow you to do that. That's mutual respect and understanding. Mutual respect and understanding. But we should not make our ego become our obstacle. And then sometimes it's better that way when people choose to do their own thing. One thing me learn from experience, these ones know the truth about themselves, even when you can only assume. You understand? So when them are gonna do things, it's because them know what them are do. All me encourages us have enough information to sustain whatever it is you do. That's it. I now go ever discourage no one, but I want now go do things out there and say it'll come from this office when I'm clueless. I'll take no such accreditation, nor blame, nor glory Whatever victory you accomplish, that's yours. Because remember, you know, over here, we say establish your house. Freedom for us, as we know it, it's an individual thing. It's not a group up as slave and then one man writes something and says something and everybody free. I don't think it worked that way. This is why first step must say establish your house. I'm express how you establish your house. You understand? And from there, you build from your house. Now you establish your house, you have no need for a representative. So the house of delegate and all of what that nonsense cannot apply to you because you establish your house. You have your own ordinance of estate. This not have nothing to do with our work in their nation. This is the individual our work Indian we are structure. And from that structure, by establishing your house, that's when you establish that paradigm, that society where you exist within, which is the Awak Indian nation, that society. And by the time the process manifests or matriculates, you're going to find yourself with certain documentation where verify and validate the fact that you are a member of such society. Yeah, man. So it's not a Moorish thing and a scam thing when me I tell you, say, I want you come do all of these things. For me, no. Then I say, watch you now, this is how me establish my house according to my due diligent research from my appliance of myself. That's the application. So this is not a government process. You understand? So it's going to be separate and distinct from the government, which is a fictional entity. We don't need permission. It's only the fiction need permission from fiction. When a policeman talk to my people, the people and where subscribe to what me I deal with totally comprehend what it is all about. And me express these things. I now go ask the police if you have a contract. If I know there is a contract, I can't do that. You understand? Because me know Babylon I got them computer look and I say, oh sovereign man I say, him not have no license and him not have no registration, but see there, it nice system send do. But him just want to get trouble and take off plates and do his own thing. The moment you have contract, you have to find out what the driver's license contract entail. And you go, most of them never ever see the contract. But when I go into that contract, if you're not ever able to see it, I go express to you clearly, say, from the Babylon say, give me a license. You know, forget Babylon not talk because you agree to do that. If Babylon say, come out of the car, you're not supposed to give Babylon a talk because the license contract within that thing where you never see before, you agree to that. And because you're a male or a female, then all that apply to you. Because you're clueless, you do not know the difference. And this is the thing, people listen and hear one aspect and run with just that one part and totally lack foundation. So if you say, hey, I'm going to answer in this way, if you get a smart public officer or public servant, then the public servant I got say, boy, so what about such and such? And then if I was a public servant, like me, you know, send me a police, I may have them information. Yeah. And one I want to come in front and say, oh no, Indian and all of that. All me go ask is for verification. Present some documentation where me can go look on some record for verify your claim. You get me? If you say, hey, I'm not a citizen of Jamaica, me as a police, I go say, present a document to show me say you renunciate from the Jamaica government. And present it when we can go look on it in some area where it's recorded. Because you can't use YouTube. You can't use none of the fictional areas like a newspaper. That's a fictional area. You can't use a ad from some glean or some little. It doesn't work. This is why I say when I lack knowledge, when I get peer problem out there, and when I get on feelings when one's express these things. I'm telling you where the de jure area there. When you come off of the public record, which is de jure, you're going on the Gazette, which is another de jure area, and you're good from there. All this nonsense people talk out there is just that nonsense, and when me hear it, me can't fuss and fight. I just leave you, because this is how you're going to learn. You understand? You're going to go through the fire. The sad thing is this. When you choose to walk through the fire, when a man there will say, I've been through that fire. Now you can take this part, you know, if you go near that fire there, me go through it, but I don't think you'll survive it. But when people say, so what if you're not here? Let me go walk and see what I can learn. I say, watch, you know, go for it. I know going to dissuade you. You understand? I'll never say, make sure you own yourself with accurate knowledge, and whether they are cheer for you, we're going to encourage you. But without knowledge, I'm quite sure you can't escape your own disaster. Impossible without knowledge. Accurate knowledge, not them guru nonsense. Because our guru when I go in a jail for driving without license, and him can't tell you anything at all about it. If you never got through it, how you can tell me about it? If you not go in a court and remove the authority from these judges, how can you tell me about it? And I have no bragging. When you talk truth, you can't brag. And you want to verify what me say? Come down to Jamaica and go in them judicial system, going on all of them records. Them are going to hide it from them. But anytime them carry me in a court, them have to have a docket number or a case number or some kind of number. And you follow that number, and that will explain everything. Because remember, me keep records, you know. I have all of the records and the date stamp verifying that these things are on their court record. Plus, me have other document what me have from the organic public record. So I talk, we are talk. The difference is this: people hear me talk. You understand? And then do their own thing and have absolutely none of those foundations. None. So what you do out there? We're going to create problem not just for ourselves, but we're going to create a huge problem for others. This is why I say, I am here, I am he. When me I deal with freedom, I work in their nation, I just say that if I not endorse it, if I not authorize it, it's not valid out the people. And people are going to catch a lot of problem because I'm telling us that this is an area for public notice. But whose notification? For the fictional notification, because it's a fictional area. So the federal agent, them are going to always zoom into a man like me, because I'm not talk a lot of nonsense like Uno. I'm not the stupid stuff like Uno. And which part me I come from, the federal agencies out there totally comprehend which part me there. Them have them eyes on me, my people, but them realize some of them on the right side of the issue, the correct side of the issue, the accurate side of the issue. This is why the federal agents them out there do not fuck with me, literally. Them will probably go as far as to make sure them protect me, really. Because them will learn so much from me, naturally. Remember, with the right here. And all we do is share the very information where the very Babylonian system present out there. We not do nothing crazy. All we do is reverse engineer what them a do. Because we say it did good before and then turn it around or turn it upside down. So all we do is fix it back. What law? Which judge can come in front of me and express law if you now repeat what I have said out there verbatim? What judge? What administrative officer? What administerial clerk? None. Me express to you say the law will come from out of the Spanish crown, will start the formation of the colonization. Is legal codes, and it applies to all agencies, and all agencies can only issue legal standards, use alternatively as rules and regulation, now guise as law. So if you don't know law, don't speak law, speak legality, because that's your capacity. And this is where I'm going to mess up a lot of, I don't hear me speak. I couldn't have a little shallow knowledge base and I speak like this. Could never. I now speak from a perspective where you hear any kind of YouTube guru influence. You can't get it from this location. Yet, we learn from everybody. But there's a point where you have to push past these ones where I said I'm a teach. And I've pushed past these people years ago. When people in our community, they think says just the Moorish people know law. This is when I'm going to show them, say, them redneck white people that know a whole heap of law too. And we have some little unusual, abnormal men who look like us, like Ian and them man there. I'm not going to say them regular like us. Because here our theme upbringing. But you have ones like those platforms when know the legality and the legal process, them clueless about law. Far removed from law in your colonized capacity. There is no law to be had when you're colonized, my people. And this are the thing where most people are miss. So them get carried away. Drifting out there totally lost at sea. Yeah, man. Now, I just expressed to the 1492 Spanish Laws of Burgos. So when you hear laws, it's not really laws. This is the original and legal codes, their legal standards being used as law when they enforce compliance to corporate policy and not enforcing constitutional law, which is guaranteed. Now we're going to look on the conquest. We said the 1620 conquest. The Spanish colonists has evolved by way of their confederacy with the British and other foreign invaders to resist the legal standard, the laws of Burgos, which are the legal codes that restrict said colonists in their interaction and relation with the West Indians. The Spanish-British colonists organized themselves to create what is now known as a Continental Congress. So when I hear all of these things, that nothing to do with us. This is how them try to take we over and mash we up, you know what I mean? As the Continental Congress and initiate the independence of themselves. Because them are try free themselves from them foreign crown where enslaved them. You know what I mean? To create their own commercial business enterprise called the United States of America. Separate and distinct from America. You know what I mean? Separate and distinct from what I'm called the Americas, the landmass area. So these are distinctions what our people have to have and know naturally. Yeah, man. Now we say after which they created the United States incorporated as a central representative agency, of the commercial business enterprise called the United States of America. So when you're there in the US is one thing, because you have people have US passport. There was a time in the 70s, 80s, 90s coming up where them call the people and US citizens. If you don't pay attention, they might try remove them kind of argument that you will become so knowledgeable. So what them want to try is now American citizens. And I try use a broad brush, but two of them I speak in them artificial capacity. Nothing what them say we can hear. Nothing what them say we can adhere to under no circumstance. You understand? This is why we say you have to establish your house and create the separation of entity. So when a policeman attack you, only can talk to a piece of paper which cannot speak for itself. Now, this is when you request them authorization. You have to have a little bit of information, people. Can't be just the YouTube nonsense, can I tell you again. If I'm gonna teach about law and you discover say where my teach is far removed from law, it's all legality, then you better go in that area, they go learn the legality. Run from that man where I tell you say him no law when him attack legality. And under no circumstance, no foreign legality can be imposed on me and me accept it as law. Impossible. This is why I say we can't make we ego be our obstacle. Because me no want to learn no kind of process for facilitate this foreign invading corporate construct. None. No process more want to deal with. Where I facilitate them. All of my processes is to expose the fact that you're a fictional entity. Come here, impose a fictional characteristic over here on our people, transforming or converting our man and woman into male and female, and I administrate them from such. I only can't get them clarity when me talk, it's so basic. What go on, we don't know that. If you can't express these things, we not run and go about and want to do this and do that. Are you people insane? Remember me telling you, the people me I deal with, me make it public. Some ones we say them no want read, but me still put it out there for the Babylon know say and my people not deal with. Now when the ones I'm outside of that, all me have to do is just cheer for them. Yeah, because we don't want truth. So we cheer for them a while and run behind some ones where have not proven themselves. Period. We make them support them and follow them. You understand? And we say, boy, free will. Anyway, I have a lot more little reading and breakdown I can do, but I feel like I'm there out here long enough. The tape what they're in place should be enough. The ones that really want the clarity, that know I always I share this thing in the, my little Facebook area, because just them two area that I still not get no time for go back in Instagram and get that thing up. Sometimes may I tell you, more time when they come under the attack and you're not techie like me, you have to figure out the things and some things where a man would figure out in about 3 seconds, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour. Sometimes all 1 year it take all a man like me to figure it out. So and everything me go on like me can master. You understand? What me make sure me want to do is stand up in a truth pan. Every issue and any issue. Just show me the truth so I stand up right there and hold that ground there. Anyway, the truth that I just hold that ground and I don't care how walk come. I don't care how come and I don't care how it come. You just want to know I stand up in a truth. And sodomite out there, you're not going to see how it go. If I'm outside the truth, I run like crazy and go find the truth. Once me outside the truth, me know say me I go wrong and I go and run like crazy to find the truth. And when I find it, I just turn around and turn up. And again, I say, with sodomite, a total decimation with my truth. Not chat. Total annihilation with I truth. Not other guru guy where me don't know nothing about. This is why these guru we have an issue with us over here. Because them say them know God and them have God personal in them closet or under them bed or on top of them bed. I said, give thanks to the mystic laws of the universe, not legality, not legal code nor policy. Law. So if you have universal laws, go and go study. So I don't know where I am. Not on phone a little joker level I play games. We're there for burn down Babylon, because Babylon for burn. It has been written. When I go on like I said, it can't happen. Babylon I got burn. But when I get that analogy, when I kind of miss it and think that everything is literally, figuratively, Babylon is on fire right now. These words are just that. Fire, our words of truth, is fire out there. But most ones, again, because of them state of condition, not really comprehend. I'm caught up in the public arena, the fictional area. I know at the time I said in my 1 hour mark, you know, but the ones that must say for go and beat this thing, you know. Yeah, so we move from the 1620 conquest and we go to the 1774 Continental Congress. Now, the Continental Congress of 1774 to 1781 was the governing body by which the American colonial governments coordinate their resistance to British rule during the first 2 years of the American Revolution. Now, my people, this is before them declare themselves independence. Now, remember, you know, these foreign people come over here, invade, and say them want to colonize the place. The foreign people, them were there, them are brutalize the people, them, so them very foreign crown, they have to send laws, legal codes, to put them in place and put them in check. These people say them no want to talk from them foreign crown, so them say, boy, them are initiate independence from them foreign crown, which is the colonists that do this, you know. And then just create them, come together and say, hey, we are Continental Congress, because remember them come for the whole of this Western Hemisphere. And from these Continental Congressional people, so them want to remove themselves from them crown, because them don't want to talk, and them want to totally colonize or enslave the West Indians here in America, which is us as a people. Nothing to do with them, middle, Latin people, absolutely nothing to do with them. These people where you see now are the hybrid people of the colonized, or the colonization, or the colonizing, you know, say, invaders. Them not look like me. You know, hear what I talk? If you don't look like me, you're not original round here. Because my thing is, we started round here. We manifest round here. If them have a thing called Pangea and everything was one, all right, yeah, so we have always been, we never gone away. And when the Most High and nature clap the earth because Samauno is not us enough spoiled, filthy, this is why the earth separated itself and we still remain where we was, isolated, secure, and protected. Until some sodomite people said them discover us. When them said them discover us, that's when our environment changed, spoil it. This is why you see them attack say this are Spanish Latin and Spanish Mexico, and that's because the Spanish first colonized here. Then them create them Confederacy, where them say them are United Nation. This is when all of these foreign people unite themselves and call it one central United Nation. And from this up, you understand? Remember, United Nation, United Kingdoms and colony, not nation, kingdoms. My correction. And it's in them documentation when them have the United Kingdoms and colonies. This is when them are called Jamaica a colony and the 13 colonies of the mainland, America. You understand? It's a foreign thing. However, the federal law then, or the legal code, whether it them call the federal law. This is when them say them are separate from the federal crown. That's why I'm a fireborn anything where federal and know it foreign. However, for the agency for operate, them have to subscribe to what them call the Bill of Rights, or what them call a charter of fundamental rights and freedom. This is why we tell people there is a distinction between fundamental rights and them civil rights or any other rights. The fundamental rights does not come from the agency or its agents, meaning the politician. The fundamental rights that come from where Moses writing in the Bible saying get some laws where you do no harm and you do unto others that you would have them do unto you. So when you violate me, it's okay for me if annihilate you, not just violate you. If you never violate me in the first place, there would be no issue. It's just like when a policeman stop you on the road, and when him stop you, all him interest should be a direct the flow of traffic. Now, if him suspect your reasonable suspicion of some criminal activity, then him can escalate it and move further. Without that, police officer not forgetting at all. They're not supposed to. You understand? But people think, so boy, when we say it this way, then no, nothing can go. So this is why I say, apply yourself for yourself, people. Nothing wrong with it. And then when you can show them the very laws where them are break, then, you know, it's like when a police I tell us that chapter 19 of the Road Traffic Act give him authority to stop. And when you go research chapter 19 of the 2022 Road Traffic Act, it will tell you about lost license plates. So how can you believe these public servants when they are totally uneducated, unlearned, and at least they lie to? Because when them not know, them just make up something. And because them in a uniform and the people are colonized and low IQ, because you can't tell them, say, them not bright, you know. But we know them not no IQ, them might bright to the colonial standards. When you express these things to them, them said, nothing can go so. So you have to allow them in them ignorance, leave them alone. We don't have no time for play them games with people. The moment we said, knock, knock, what's up, what go on, this is what we are deal with. Like the Jehovah's Witness, it's when you shut the door in our face, we say, have a good day, and we turn around and we move on to the next. We now hang around to say, boy, hey, every man have to choose them part. If me don't know a thing, I may look over there and see someone know some things, and that is the direction where me want to go, then me go hang out with them people and try to learn and support them and build them until me can move on onto whatever next level. Some people have no growth. Them stuck. One level, cannot evolve, cannot transcend, will never become, because an ego has become their own obstacle. And they're totally unaware of it. Now we say the Congress balanced the interests of the different colonies and also established itself as the official colonial liaison to Great Britain. So them just create themselves together like, oh, that just come together and say, boy, this is who it is. So if you're going to deal with it, you have to deal with it from this office. Not from an individual perspective, because the individual must at least establish his house and establish himself as such. And when Babylon do the research and don't see it, Babylon are going to rearrange on a status and on now going to know it. And now can explain everything to you because I know no businesses out there. But you go pursue a course where you are telling yourself so on right when all our experience I said on totally wrong and off course. Way off course. But we can't really break on into and I telling you these things. Because the moment you say you believe in a Jesus Christ, it's rude and out of order of us to tell him not to. We can't tell him not to. You understand? This is why I'm saying our thing different, people. I approach it different. I have a machete in my hand. When I'm here, I'm going to take it literally because I don't have an IQ. The IQ not there or it's low. Now I'm going to express to you. When I say I have a machete, it's a figurative term of the esoteric information that I keep. And when I wield that information, that's me using my machete, cutting out my own way, making out my own lane, creating my own paradigm. It makes no sense. You have never done that. And you're going to attach yourself to something like that or grab some things from that and think it's going to be effective to you. Express to people, sir, is when you literally, actually live this life. This information I'm share naturally apply to you. It can't apply to you with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It's hard. You have to reach that point where you make a decision. You know what I mean? Where you say, I totally renounce it and renege all contract made under infancy And infancy, that state of condition, is it has said, you know, comprehend what really are going on out there, and you know, have control of your own affairs. People think that having control of your own affairs are when you gain access to the fictional finances what them have out there. Absolutely wrong. Is when you can express what I have just said on all levels and still learning. A man can show you process how to make access, but you dunce like rat, but clueless what happened. All they do is just you know, do the process what somebody set for you. And then most people come to riff and take a little bit of information from those process and apply it to whatever them are try do and say them are do something. And when they check the record, the organic record, they are presumed as a slave and they pledge their allegiance to the corporate construct. And that's the presumption where they need to rebut and where they haven't rebut. But then they're all over the place and do all kind of other things. And Babylon and look upon them and like, are these people stupid? Like, we just give them some more room so we can arrest them so they can learn. That's you know, ultimate. That's a location. Yeah, man. Choose to apply yourself, people. Don't take my word for it. Please, don't take my word for it. Now, them say as the war progress, the Congress that are the American so-called revolution, which is actually some European revolution from the foreign European crown. The Congress becomes the effective national government of the country, and as such, conducted diplomacy on behalf of the new United States. You hear that? Yeah, me make gonna think about that. New United States. So what the whole United States there. Anyway, we have got to Lee resolution. This is what initiate them independence. The 1776 Lee resolution on June 7, 1776, Richard Henry Lee of Virginia introduced this resolution in the Second Continental Congress proposing independence for the American colonies. Remember, there was only 13 colonies. So if a 13 colonies, and now them have, well, on paper, 50 odd colonies, what them are called state. So when them 13 colonies, they are going with themselves, on to the rest of colonies. There was no such thing, my people. All of it there, so them take time, spread out themselves, when them construct them thing, and them start bringing them foreign people. And so them are bringing them foreign people, them are genocide us, them are wipe with, listen, on a need for go do our own research and stop follow some little cross-dressing, you know, fancy talking people out there. We are fatting them pocket. That's all them are do, them pocket swell. When you see them don't look like I, them overweight. If you tell them for go for a walk, they can't make it, much less for jog for at least 10 minutes. You can't get them for jog for 10 minutes, much less for go run for an hour and then walk for another hour. They won't do it. Them rather sit down around a keyboard and create this illusion and sell their illusionary dreams to you as a people. And the people take it up. My West Indian people, it's enough. You hear them say at 2025, we are to continue the same nonsense we have been going through. Watch me now. This is why we're there and we present for office. Yeah, so we provide a service. The problem is that some people don't want to give away a strength, them don't want to pay for them service. When them going to the attorney's office, them sell them draws for pay the attorney. We cannot help them. But when them come in front of a man like I, we can help. You understand? Them have issues. Why? God, a spirit here is not a spirit where I go say, you know, I'm willing for bend over. Them have issue. Them feel like when them support you or give you strength, them supposed to direct you. And when them pay attorney millions of dollars, then I say attorney, tell them where go on. But when them a deal with us as a people, it's like them a tell themselves that you're not nobody. Them just want what them want from you for just this. And I say, judgment out there, because I've seen it. The visionless, I see it. And this judgment you're now going to apply and affect everyone. Usually people are going to consent to their own torment naturally. And we are seeing it. However, we can't get another way of it. Cannot. Yeah, man. So it's in the early 1770s, more and more colonists became convinced that the British Parliament intended to take away their freedom. You hear that? So when niggas out there thinks that people interested have anything to do with them, no, them a fight for free themselves so them can enslave unofficially. And they did. You understand? And this is the state of condition where we find ourselves in. Who going to express it and explain it to you this way? Not the foreigners, not the foreign colonizers, and not their offspring, and not the hybrid, what them sire will look like you. They will never break it down to you this way. How can they? Why would they? Remember our advocacy, you know? Don't forget it. So we're not going to entertain no partiality. Our advocacy is freedom, freedom in, freedom in. When they are trying to look for financial security, forgive me. Yes, I. One more time, when they out here, I tell you, say, it's a whole different thing going on. What I discover is it's like mother there and I chant, and when I look upon the thing, I'm going to say 3 people in the thing, or 2 people sometimes, nobody not in the chat. But when I get out for the chat, my sister boy, you know, the chat they basically having a group of people. So me I say when one's come in and them don't left a hail or a invite or a, you know, one of them kind of salute, Darian Clary, honor, natural out there. Then we not gonna know what go on. And then YouTube have them algorithm where you know, them are gonna suppress certain information and suppress certain people. Why? Because the ones them where are fake, like them have interest and are fake, them don't support. You'd have to touch base on the little group chat area, quiet as it is. And I said to the people, them say, brethren, it stay away when one not support I in a brethren. And when I say support, but the life, I'm not say nobody pass through more than the very same people more than normally say. And if you're not busy enough, get the notification and don't pass through. When I say no, left a comment when you watch the video. That means that you not watch the video. I say the views from my video reflects me have a group chat with some people who show interest. So when you don't do that, why not think me go obligate or commit to you? Why not think me go have any kind of interest with anything with you? I won't. I say me have the council where ones would knock me and I say meeting and all of these things and me have to respond and I say everybody growing here say, you know, if we have put this thing together and once not have them kind of interested, then we now gonna try to force it from people. What I know I am doing is working with some people where I deal with me direct. I'm only obligated to the ones that where support me. You can't hang out around here and don't support and I demand anything at all. One up to, one is about. It don't make no sense. So I don't think we're gonna persist that way. No. We're gonna just do what we are doing. And we're gonna work with the people who really support it. And we're gonna just totally ignore others. You understand? Because I keep on telling them, say the organization, what that is, the society, what that is. You establish your house? No. But you want to do all kind of things though? Yeah. Then go ahead. I now go authorize or endorse it. In fact, I will fireborn it. That's why I said from me not authorize it, it not have nothing to do with this office. And this is where people are run from. They don't want to establish them house and learn how to stand up on their own 2 foot. They want to come itch with you. And I say, them are deal with what you deal with, but them are do their own thing and make a mess out there. I will not condone that. Now I go support that. Now I go endorse that. And we'll make them think they're clear. So Babylon, no say when you draw them way, it not have nothing to do with me. When me approach you, Babylon, me not hide. Me come with authority. And me assert that authority. Lawfully. That's the difference. Yeah, man. Yeah, and then it come down to, the 1777 Articles of Confederation, which was the first official constitution where everything else derived from. So, like a post this where ones can read and lock them information if them so choose, but we just make an effort for say, boy, grassroots. We not have nothing out here to prove. We not try embarrass nobody. We not try look no glory or no fame. We just said, allow we make we be. That's all. West Indian paradigm. Allow us to be who we are naturally. Yeah, man. And whoever we say we are, that's who we are choose to be. Yeah, man. And everybody can do what they want to do. But just get accurate knowledge and step out there. So we can learn from phone step and encourage others to step. That makes sense. You just sit down and allow yourself to be oppressed. And then you only talk sideways and curse everybody else, opposed to challenge your oppressors. The sick on I play them kind of sideways game then. You don't fight the battle where they're in front of you. You run all over the place and I fight everybody else except the big foreign Congress where they're on the mainland. The moment you can address and turn up to the Congress and remove all jurisdiction from that Congress, you have absolutely no credibility or authority to speak out here when we are discussed being free. None. Why? Because you're not free. And you can never be. Not in that state of condition where you look for permission from the colonizing so-called authority. Fix it up, people. We can. Yeah, man. We can. Anyway, the brave may fall, but never yield. And we say bold and brave, firm and strong. I walk in their nation.
I'm Noel Honig, and I'm a director and a designer. If I'm working with type in Photoshop,